I was scrolling on Roblox one day when suddenly I came across this game called Demonology, a ghost hunting game sparking my interest to play it. After playing it for a bit, I noticed it had a nightmare mode, and that's when I knew I had to beat every small level on nightmare mode. Now before starting this challenge, I need to set a couple ground rules. The first rule is I can only use the base items. The second one, I can only play the map until I beat it on Nightmare. The third rule, any death means I must buy the $200 in-game cash, which is equivalent to 45 Robux. I only have 205 Robux, which means I only have 4 lives. With that being said, let's get straight into the challenge. Right off the start, I immediately go pick up the EMF reader, the thermometer, and the camera. Now these are the 3 things that I usually bring in on my first go. As I enter the building, I notice there's a ghost orb right here, so I set down my camera and go outside to pick up some more items. I return back with the blacklight, the thermometer, and the EMF reader, and I set all of them down except for the blacklight. I return outside to grab the laser projector and the book, just to bring back inside because I know what the room is, and I also selected the ghost orb because I seen the ghost orb earlier. But just then, disaster strikes. I must find a closet or I risk dying and losing my Robux. Luckily, in this bathroom, I do find a closet and I'm able to hide. Little known fact is that you can actually keep these open and you'll still survive even if the ghost comes in the room. After a while, the ghost finally ends its haunt and I'm able to go out and continue looking at what this ghost could possibly be. I walk back out into the living room to make sure all my stuff is still there and to set down a couple more things instead of everything upright. Afterwards, I go up and pick up the spirit box and the flowers and bring them inside. I go back in and set down the flowers and suddenly, instinctively, I try to run to the closet, but I notice he's right there, so I decided I want to loop around the table before I try to head to the closet. Knowing his path, he goes around to the left side while I go to the right and go right around him. Once again, I'm sitting in the closet, but this time I have the spirit box. The little known fact about the spirit box as well is that you can actually talk to the ghost still while it's on its haunt. It may be a little more difficult, but you can still possibly do it. After a while, the spirit box goes back to talking to normal and we can go reset our stuff back up. After constant back and forth with the living room and the closet, I have a couple things to say. Sound like 05, so I guess it's Phantom. We can get out of here. I deem that there's a couple things that are not useful to the situation, so I decide I just want to select one and get out of here. That's the only main thing I was kind of missing out on. I don't know if it was freezing temperatures or not. After the haunt ends, I decided I want to go back outside and select that the Phantom is the ghost that I can do, and I leave the place as it is. There we go. Now to kind of explain some things, I am an experienced player for this game. Even though it just said I leveled up to level 2, I played this game on a different account before. One of these places being Juniper Road, which I always played on. Juniper Road is probably one of the easiest places because of its hiding spots. It also has predetermined locations for the cursed objects. Now you might be wondering, what is a cursed object? Well, one of the cursed objects could be either a Ouija board or it could be a music box in this game. With that being said, let's get back to the video. I know it's laser projector. After the ghost hunt ends, I immediately want to go back outside because I know the room is the back bedroom. This room being one of the most prominent places for the most hostile ghosts. After a while, I go back and I'm setting up stuff when all of a sudden, this happens. Well, that didn't go as planned, and there goes 45 of my Robux. I'm now down to 3 lives. And boy, did I think this challenge was going to be easy. But nevertheless, we still have 3 lives, and let's get back into it. We're back on Juniper Road once again, but this time I have a plan. First, I search around for any ghost orbs, which I do find in the back bedroom. Then I continue with my setup that I usually do in the back rooms. As I'm continuing my setup, this happens. As per usual, I sit in the closet and wait until the end, and then I finally go back outside. After a constant back and forth, and I mean a ton of back and forth, I find myself trying to figure out the last clue. Go check temperature one more time. I really think it's probably Leviathan, so let's go that and see if we're right or wrong. Well, that's just amazing. Not only was that just a bunch of time wasted, but now I gotta go through again. Hopefully this time it won't take as long as the last one did. Either way, we gotta do this all over again. Skipping time forward a little bit because the beginning is just a bunch of setup, we find out that the main room is the main entrance corridor. Now, I don't know why this was happening with the red light and everything. I knew the ghost was right there, but I didn't know the red light changes like that. Well, level 4 is surprising. Usually when stuff happens like this, it's usually a level 5 on the EMF reader. Earlier I discovered there was salt in the closet, so I'm using it to set up a little barrier here in front of the hiding place. I lure the ghost over the salt to try and get any footprints to show up, when all of a sudden it doesn't show any footprints at all. I start flipping through the pages because I know one of the ghosts doesn't make footprints in walking over salt. After flipping through the pages, I end up on the wrath, which refuses to disturb salt lines. After a while of trying to get another piece of evidence, I ultimately decide to go outside and just pick this. I don't know, we're gonna go with it and see. Gotcha. Finally, after forever for being on Juniper Road, we finally can move on to the next place. Welcome to Lincoln Street, a very big place to say the least, with a bunch of hiding spots and one of, if not my most hated maps. Now you may be asking why I hate this map so much. Well, the main reason is because of the choke points it has. If a ghost spawns in the hallway while you're in the living room, then you have nowhere to go but to loop around the living room table. And for this challenge, proves very risky play. Anyways, let's get back into the challenge. We start off by hiding in the closet because the ghost hunt starts pretty much immediately, when I find this piece of evidence really revealing. We find our first piece of evidence to be that the EMF level can go up to level 5. I still don't know what the ghost room is, so it's going to be a little difficult to find out since there is no ghost orbs either. I find out that when I'm going down to the basement, a scream was heard from there, so I'm going to assume that the basement is the ghost room. After the haunt is up, I'm downstairs setting everything up when I'm trying to look for the thermometer because that's the last kind of piece of evidence that I need. I go outside to try and look for the thermometer, but it seems to be not here. I head back down with the actual flashlight to look around a little bit more when all of a sudden, and with nowhere to go, trapped in the basement, this happens. Oh. Great, down from 160 to 115 and only 2 lives left. I don't know if we're going to be able to complete this challenge at this rate. Well, I guess we'll just have to go back in and try our luck again at this place. I find out that the ghost room is right where the closet is, which is very unfortunate for me because this is usually where I hide. Other than the bad news, I know it's the ghost room because of the ghost orb as well in the room. As I'm trying to ask it questions, I notice a little apparition which immediately gives me the laser projector as well. This leaves me with 3 ghosts left, and now I have to find out which one of these specific ghosts have a specific piece of evidence with them. After a while, I notice that the ghost, when it haunts, does not make footstep sounds, which goes accordingly with one of the ghosts. I make sure the hunt is ended by using the spirit box to make sure that my text is back to normal, and then I finally get out of the house and choose the ghost and get out. Sweet. Finally, the challenge is over! I only spent about 90 Robux, but it was getting pretty close there at the end. Anyways, yeah, if you want me to do more of these maps, then make sure to subscribe, because I will be doing more content like this.